Lieutenant Sarah Chen stared at the tactical display, watching red warning lights cascade across the Galactic Defense Academy's main screen. Around her, 96 of the most brilliant military minds in the known galaxy, Zorathi strategists, with their crystalline neural networks, Vector combat specialists with reflexes that could process 1,000 scenarios per second, and Minari tactical geniuses whose four-lobed brains could calculate probability matrices that would make quantum computers weep, all stood frozen in disbelief. The Apex had breached containment. For 3 cycles, the Academy had kept the creature, locked in the deepest sub-level of the station, a nightmare pulled from the void between galaxies. It was pure predation made manifest, 12 meters of shifting obsidian carapace, reality-warping tentacles that could phase through matter, and an intelligence so alien that even the Minari couldn't begin to comprehend its thought patterns. The Academy used it as the ultimate test scenario, a simulation where cadets faced an unbeatable enemy to see how they handled inevitable defeat. Except now it was real, and it was loose. All units, Code Omega. Commander Thexit's voice crackled. Through the comm, his usual Zorathi composure replaced by something Sarah had never heard before. Fear. The Apex has breached Level 7 containment. Full evacuation proto, the transmission cut to static. Sarah watched her classmates, beings who had scored in the top percentiles on every tactical assessment, who came from species that had conquered star systems while humanity was still figuring out fire, and she saw something she'd never seen in their alien features before. Complete paralysis. Cadet Zoran, ranked first in their class, stood with his forearms hanging limp, his tactical subroutines crashed from trying to calculate a winnable scenario. Cadet Velnara, whose species had defeated the devourers of Kepler 442, stared at the display with all 6 eyes wide in terror. Sarah looked at her own ranking on the display. 97 out of 100. The human. The one who scored poorly on probability calculations because her brain couldn't process 17 variables simultaneously. The one who failed xenobiology because she couldn't understand how Thexian hive minds communicated through electromagnetic pulses. The one who barely passed temporal mechanics because human linear thinking couldn't grasp 4-dimensional combat strategies. The one who had never won a single simulation. "We need to evacuate," Velnara whispered, her translator struggling with the high-pitched frequency of her terror. "The evacuation routes are compromised," Zoran said, his voice hollow. "The Apex learns. It adapts. It's probably already sealed the primary exits." Sarah stepped forward, every eye, optical sensor, and electromagnetic receptor in the room focused on her. "No," she said quietly. "We're not running." "Chen," Cadet Mordak growled, his reptilian features twisting in disbelief. "This is the Apex. It's killed entire fleets. It's a predator," Sarah interrupted. She walked to the tactical display and began pulling up the station schematics. "And I've been hunting predators since I was 12 years old in the forests of British Columbia." Her fingers danced across the holographic interface, clumsy by galactic standards but quick enough for human needs. "Look at its movement pattern. It's not random. It's herding us away from something." "The armory," breathed Cadet Seymoura, her gaseous form flickering with realization. "Exactly. It doesn't want us armed." Sarah's mind raced, not through quantum calculations or probability matrices, but through pure human intuition. Every predator has the same weakness, overconfidence. It thinks we're prey. It thinks we'll run. She turned to face her classmates. "My species spent 2 million years being hunted by things bigger, faster, and stronger than us. You know what we learned? Sometimes, the best way to survive a predator isn't to outthink it or outrun it. Sometimes you just have to be too stupid to know you can't win." Zoran's crystalline eyes flickered. "The simulations show a 0% survival probability." "Screw the simulations." Sarah began assigning positions, her voice growing stronger with each word. "Velnara, you're the fastest. I need you to reach the maintenance shaft on level 5. Zoran, Calculate blast patterns for the plasma conduits. Don't think about victory, just maximum structural damage. Mordek, you're with me. We're going hunting. This is madness, Seymour pulsed. Yeah, Sarah grinned, and for the first time since joining the academy, she felt like herself. That's the point. 20 minutes later, the Apex moved through the station's corridors like liquid death, reality bending around its form. It had learned the patterns of every species in the galaxy, their logical responses, their predictable behaviors. It knew exactly how they would. The explosion caught it completely off guard. As the plasma conduits erupted in carefully calculated sequence, Sarah emerged from the smoke, holding a jury-rigged graviton lance that should have been impossible to construct with available materials. She didn't calculate angles or probability matrices. She aimed and fired on pure instinct. The Apex screamed, a sound that shattered crystal formations 3 levels away, and lunged at her with tentacles that could phase through solid matter. Sarah dove and rolled, her movements erratic and unpredictable, guided not by tactical algorithms but by 2 million years of human evolution. Behind her, Mordek activated the gravity well generators that Zor-On had repositioned based on Sarah's impossibly crude but effective battle plan. Now! Sarah shouted. Velnara's sabotage triggered simultaneously. The station's artificial gravity reversed, emergency bulkheads slammed shut, and the Apex found itself trapped in a maze of its own making. It was Guy Mora who delivered the final blow, flooding the chamber with concentrated xenon plasma, a tactic so wasteful and inefficient that no sane tactical computer would ever suggest it. As the Apex dissolved into component particles, Sarah sat against the wall, breathing hard. Around her, the greatest military minds in the galaxy stared in amazement. How? Zor-On asked. The calculations said, humans don't calculate, Sarah said, wiping sweat from her forehead. We improvise, we adapt, and sometimes we're just too dumb to know when we're beaten. Commander Thex. Its voice crackled through the restored communications. All units report status. Is the Apex contained? Sarah looked around at her classmates, her friends, who had followed a 97th ranked human into battle against impossible odds. Contained and neutralized, sir, she replied. Humanity has entered the building. Later, when the official reports were filed, Sarah Chen still ranked 97th in her class. But when the next crisis came, and there would always be another crisis, everyone knew exactly who they'd follow into the fire. After all, in a galaxy full of logical beings, sometimes you needed someone just crazy enough to believe that impossible was just another word for haven't tried yet.